Well, if I'm like a child, then, look, maybe you should teach me.
Sky people cannot learn you do not see.
Then teach me how to see.
No one can teach you to see.
Whoa.
He hath blinded their eyes, and hardened their heart, that they should not see with their eyes, nor understand with their heart, and be converted, and I should heal them.
Tanga! No! Atokirina! Atokirina.
What are they?
Seeds of the sacred tree. Very pure spirits.
The desire of our soul is to thy name, and to the remembrance of thee. With my soul have I desired thee in the night, yea, with my spirit within me will I seek thee early. For when thy judgments are in the earth, the inhabitants of the world will learn righteousness.
What was that all about?
Come.
The black liquid had the ability to transform and mutate any organism that it came in contact with.
Big things have small beginnings. Organic.
The mutation took place on a genetic level and even made the host organism highly hostile towards others. Now, it is often believed that the engineers played God and created both humans and xenomorphs. One of the creatures that were formed because of the black liquid was a trilobite. It looked like a mix between an arthropod and an octopus. The trilobite came into being when an infected Dr. Holloway impregnated Elizabeth Shaw.
It's us.
It's not exactly a traditional fetus.
Creature grew within Elizabeth at an exponential rate, and she survived by extracting it from her womb using a cesarean. After coming out of her body, it developed pretty quickly into a huge tentacled monster and impregnated an engineer with a deacon. Now, while the trilobite holds many similarities with the facehuggers of the Alien universe and other important questions, such as how it could grow in size without the need for any biomass, it was only unconscious, and it later grew into a massive squid-like organism.
Why?
Sometimes to create, one must first destroy.
I think we can trick the nervous system into thinking it's still alive.
However, the trilobite needed a womb to grow up in, amniotic sac and amniotic cord, so that it would take nourishment from the mother. As far as changing Shaw's DNA structure is concerned, it had significantly changed because Shaw's barren womb was made fertile. So basically, instead of giving birth to a chestbuster or a newly formed xenomorph, Shaw gave birth to an entity that served as a facehugger. It is made evident because the trilobite then went on to attack and impregnate the last engineer from whom a deacon came out, and then then matured. So in the case of a trilobite and deacon, there are 2 impregnations, while in the case of xenomorph, there's just 1 impregnation. It is often argued that the engineers were the ones who messed up scientifically with the black liquid to create biomechanical weapons, the result of which was the xenomorphs. To sum it all up, it could be assumed that xenomorphs are the result of careful scientific experiments with the black liquid, while the trilobite and deacon are the results of a more rudimentary and natural exposure to the black liquid with the human reproductive system. However, we have to keep in mind that it was an alien life form, and hence it is beyond the biological conventions that normal organisms follow with respect to development and growth. The trilobite may be a physiologically simple creature, and all it needs is that its cells replicate manifolds in a short span of time to grow in size. The cell division requires a large amount of energy, and once the rate of cell division becomes 0, organisms die of natural causes. Naturally, if an organism was to have an accelerated rate of cell division, its lifespan would be considerably short. As far as xenomorphs are concerned, the bulk of their energy goes into rapid aging and development. Such is the case with a trilobite, and it would be safe to assume that it starts off with dense volumes of stored energy at birth and expend all of its stored energy into developing at an enhanced rate. You might be surprised to know that the rhubarb triangle, an area between Wakefield, Leeds, and Bradford, grows the majority of rhubarb in the world. The crop is kept in extremely dark sheds and supplied with nutrients for a couple of years. During this time, it hardly grows in size, but keeps absorbing nutrients. After a while, light is added to the dark sheds, and then the rhubarb plant grows at such an exponential rate that one can hear the squeaking and popping. It also theorized that xenomorphs eat what their hosts eat, but they could also sustain themselves on several inorganic materials. The facehugger wouldn't have attacked David because he didn't smell like a living being. He didn't have moist breath and other similar features that living beings possess. But with time, it grew into an extremely violent beast with incredibly large and powerful tentacles. Interestingly enough, it grew to this gargantuan size in very little time and without the need for any biomass intake. After the impregnation, the trilobite itself dies.
I have longed for thy salvation, O Lord, and thy law is my delight. Let my soul live, and it shall praise thee.